Hey guys, this is AI Gaming 1776, and today we're doing another GTX 745 video. This one is Grand Theft Auto 5, so I hope you guys really like it. In the upper right hand corner, I have some benchmarking software going. There is a fraps counter going that says 39 frames per second, and then the rest of that information is MSI Afterburner, and it's showing the GPU temperature and core speed. The second line says MEM, that means memory, and that's referring to the VRAM, which we're using just about 2 gigs of VRAM. There's another frame rate counter. There's the activity percentage for all 8 cores. This is a 4790 CPU, so it has 8 cores counting hyperthreading. And at the bottom is RAM, and then that's at 5.7 gigabytes. So we're using 5.7 gigabytes of system RAM from the computer. All right, so let's look at the graphical settings. DirectX 11, full screen, 1920 by 1080, 60 hertz refresh rate. This won't get up to 60 frames per second, but that's what we're at. FXAA is on, MSAA is off, TXAA is off, VSync, we're going to turn VSync off. Population density, population variety, and distance scaling, those are all maxed. Texture quality is very high, which is the highest it can go. Shader quality is at normal, which is the lowest it can go. Shadow quality is at high. Reflection quality is at normal. Normal is low in this game. Okay, there is no low. See? Normal is low. So anything that says normal, in your mind, picture low, because that's what it really is. MSAA reflection quality is normal, which is low. Reflection MSAA is off. Water quality is normal. Particles, normal. Grass, normal. Grass is a system killer. This will eat your frame rate, all right? You turn up the grass quality, and it's not going to look so good. Soft shadows are on soft, which I think is the least intensive of the choices. Post effects are low, normal. Anisotropic filtering is at times 16. Ambient occlusion is normal, but it's better than off. And tessellation is normal, which is better than off. So to recap, and I always say this when I do benchmarking, I like to have textures at a high quality, and in this game I have textures at the highest they go. And ambient occlusion and tessellation, I like to have those on. I prefer to have them higher, but hey, at least they're on. Okay? So those are the settings. Let's go check out the game. I have this on PS4. And I can tell you this compares very favorably to the PS4 version. The PS4 version has more details in the textures, but look at this. We're in the 40s for frame rate right now. It's smoother with the GTX 745. Now, I try to be honest with you guys. I try to hit you with the honesty. I've told you, I think Far Cry 4 plays better on console, like PS4 and Xbox One. I think it's better on console than I think it is with the GTX 745. It's playable with the GTX 745, but I just feel like the game works out better on the consoles. So we are getting screen tearing because VSync is off, but it did just go up to 50 frames per second, which is pretty impressive. Let's turn VSync on, though. Let's turn that back on. I don't know why I always have trouble finding... There it is. It's down there under the AA of all places. All right. So we're in the 30s and 40s with it on, but there's no screen tearing and things pop better when VSync is on. Look, we just went up to 49 frames per second, so I'll turn VSync on and off intermittently throughout the video to give you a taste. So this is a very good cinematic. I chose this cinematic. Look how good that door looks. It looks, I'm not going to lie to you, it looks better. It's more detailed on the PS4, but it pops better with the GTX 745. And it looks even better with my GTX 970, I'm not going to lie. This looks good. This cinematic looks really good. Now, I will tell you that umbrella looks kind of shifty, which is interesting considering we have the texture so high, so I don't know why, but that umbrella looks kind of flaky. It's not that great looking. And there's some other things maybe because MSAA isn't on, but I've noticed that the skin doesn't look as good with the 745, but this still looks great, okay? Like, I'm serious. For a GTX 745, this looks really good. When people say that GTA on the computer, on PC, is a good port, they are not kidding. This is a GTX 745, and this, you know, it's hard to say whether or not it's definitively better than the consoles or not, okay? It's hard to say whether it's definitively better than the PS4 or the Xbox One. Now, I don't know if me talking over this phone call is going to be annoying or not, so I'm going to be quiet for a second and just look at stuff.
I know you didn't want it sold, but I need money, and they don't want to buy it. They just want to take it. I'm hiding in the head. You're insane. All right, I'm coming. For my phone.
You cannot climb the water fountain while you're on the phone call. Now I can. All right, so what I was trying to tell you is I can definitively say I think Far Cry 4 is a better experience on the consoles than I think it is on a GTX 745. I know people have disagreed with me, but I've been making more videos to try to make my case on this. Look, I'm not a biased person. I like PC. I like consoles. Okay, I try to be very, very objective and very straightforward with you guys when I give these opinions. I prefer... Wait a minute, I gotta go the other way. I prefer Far Cry on the consoles versus a GTX 745 on PC. Now, with a more powerful graphics card, I prefer PC. Even a 750 Ti, okay, which is not the world's greatest jump over 745, but a 750 Ti, I prefer Far Cry 4 on PC with anything stronger than this, anything at 750 Ti and stronger, then I prefer Far Cry 4 on PC. But if I only have a 745, then I prefer the console. With that said, I'm pretty sure I prefer Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC with a GTX 745 versus PlayStation 4. And that's saying a lot, because I bet you the PlayStation 4 version of Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold a lot of copies. I bet it sold a ton of copies. And, you know, a lot of people, let's be honest, a lot of people don't have computers. Now, a lot of people do, okay? I've seen numbers in the past, you know, like from a couple years ago, that suggest PC gamers outnumber console gamers. I don't know. Like, I'd have to do the research. But I think a lot of people, at least in the United States of America right now, when they think of gaming, they think console. They think Xbox One or they think PS4. If you notice, IGN, I'm pretty sure they're the biggest video game website, if not the biggest, one of. I've read IGN for years, and, you know, they kind of ignore PC. Not 100% ignore it, but they don't make it a priority. I mean, I've read that site for years as a console gamer. I didn't start console gaming. I didn't start PC gaming until this year. And honestly, they never really seem to talk about PC gaming that much. You know, they talked about Diablo 3 when it came out. They talked about SimCity when it came out. They've talked about PC gaming, like, big stories, but I haven't felt like... Did I just go the wrong way? I haven't felt like they made PC gaming a big thing. Anyway, I'm getting off track. The point is, and I apologize for that little bunny trail, but the point is, if I had to choose between this right here, GTX 745, and a PlayStation 4, which I have this game on PlayStation 4, I would choose this. And that's saying a lot. The GTX, look at that, we're going 48 frames per second. Now, I will tell you that, and this may sound counter to what you might expect, I will tell you that when you drive around in the city on this game, you will see a higher frame rate. Now, VSync is on, and we're hitting 49, 50 frames per second, which is exactly what we got when VSync was off. Here, we can turn it off, too, just for the sake of science. Graphics. So now VSync is off. I don't think we're going to see a big frame rate jump, but we might. Whoa, did Franklin... Was that Franklin? Guess not. Alright, so, oh, we got it to 52 frames per second. So I'm kind of eating a little bit of crow again. There's something about the 745 that makes me have to end up eating crow. Every now and then it happens. 54 frames per second. I don't think that that's a big enough jump in frames, though, from 50 to 54 to give up VSync, because without VSync you get screen tearing, and I don't like screen tearing. Now, I have read that, you know, there's things you can do to make it there not be screen tearing. There's extra programs you can run and stuff like that. The truth is, I have not run them. I have not tested them, so I cannot vouch for them. Come on, buddy. Wait a minute. Is that Franklin on there, or is that the bad guy? Anyway, this is an action-packed scene, but check this out. We're going to... This is an action-packed scene, but let's pick a different scene. Alright, so load the game. Let's go here. Alright. Loading takes a while in this game. So I apologize for putting you through a loading screen. Do apologize for that. This is going to be a short video compared... I usually do like 20, 30, 40-minute videos. We're only at 11 minutes right now. I'm just trying to show you. Look, here's Franklin. Let's get some detail. Oh my goodness, we're going 60 frames per second, so now I look like an idiot. But we are in his house. Look, I got VSync off, right? I'm a good sport. Now this pops. This looks good, man. This looks really good. I don't like the screen tearing. Not going to lie. See, now we're at 43 frames per second. Let's go downtown. So what I was trying to tell you is when you're downtown in this game, the frame rate is higher. When you go out to the country, the frame rate is lower. And you can argue that, oh, well, it's got to load more expansive areas or whatever. Okay. Well, even if you're going through like a curvy country road and really there's not much on the screen except for like road and grass, it will have a low frame rate. Now, I'm speaking from using my GTX 970. Now, my GTX 970, those settings I choose, it usually, the ambient occlusion looks really good. Like all these taillights have a nice glow. Or maybe that's the tessellation or the combination of the two, but it looks really good on this, on the 745. I would prefer a better driving car than this, though. This van is not doing it. Hey, give me your car. Are you serious? You see how rude that was? He didn't even give me his car. There's a cop car there. Seriously? I don't even have words for what just happened. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't expecting what just happened. The AI in this game is like really kind of aggressive at not letting you take their cars, I've noticed. I'm used to the old days of Grand Theft Auto where, you know, like if you wanted a car, you were going to get it. You know, like it was pretty easy. But the AI, man, they are aggressive. They don't want to give their cars up. I've had people pull me back out of the car. Oh, come on. Where's a good car? I did not want to make you guys did not want to make you guys watch me hunt for a car, but alright, remember VSync's off. I'm just going to leave it off for the rest of the video. I'm not going to turn it back on. But what I was telling you before all that happened, GTX 970, I normally have 60 frames per second, constant, 52 to 60, with pretty high settings while I play the game. And with MSA A2 on, by the way. And it'll be like 60 frames per second in the city, but when I go out to the country, it will tank. The frame rate will tank. Now, how would I... Oh, you know what? At this point, because remember, I picked an old save file. At this point in the game, I had not unlocked that stuff yet. I was wondering why... Not unlocked, but I haven't put it on the map yet. I was wondering why it wasn't on my map. Let me see how quickly I can get out to the country so I can show you. See, VSync is off. We're in the 40s for the frame rate, and I'm just going to try to go up this little highway, because once you go up this highway, this highway on the west half of the map, and you start going north on it, with the GTX 970, it'll even go down to like 30 frames per second in some parts. Where in the city, it's constantly 60. So I want to see if it's going to tank for you here. Because this is the thing about benchmarking. Like usually when guys benchmark, whether it's the hard, what are they called? The hardware Canucks, the Canadian guys, the hardware Canucks, and then Linus Tech Tips and Jay's 2 Cents and all these people that now don't get me wrong, I watch their videos. I have nothing against them. But all these people that benchmark, they don't really give you the whole picture. Like, I've seen their methodology. Like, I've watched enough of their videos that I've figured out what they do. And what they usually do is they play a little bit. We're in the 40s right now, like 44 frames per second. It was up to 47. It's at 46. Remember, we have benchmarking software in the upper rank. 48. Whoa, I'm going the wrong way. I am really going the wrong way. Alright, so anyway, they play a little bit, but they don't get into it like this. Alright? They don't get this deep into it. They don't say, hey, this settings work in one part of the game, but they don't work in another. And I try to let you guys know this stuff, right? Now, just because the frame rate's going to... Well, if it does. If the frame rate goes down, that doesn't necessarily by itself mean that you shouldn't keep it at these higher settings. Because most of the time when you play the game, it will be at the higher frame rate. You see what I mean? It's going to be... Like, normally the game is 60 frames per second for me. But when I drive on this highway... Look, I'm at 59 right now, so it's making me a liar already. But when I get far enough up on this highway, and it's not even that far. When I get far enough up on this highway, all of a sudden it starts tanking. Like, it'll go down to 30. It's ridiculous. Alright, so this is normal. I mean, we're in the 40s, and heck, it was in the 50s. It was at 60 for a second. But once you start going up this highway with my GTX 970, it's normally around 60 frames per second. It goes down as low as 30. So we're going to see if that happens with the 745, and it might not. And one of the reasons it might not is because I have MSAA on when I play at the 970, and it's not on here. And trust me, MSAA on at all makes it just kills the GTX 745. I mean, it just slows it down. Okay, so for sure, normally I would be seeing frame rate drops right now. This car is terrible, by the way. I mean, it's not the worst car ever, but it's pretty terrible. But by now, I would definitely be in the 30s and low 40s. And yet, here I am in the 50s. So, it actually looks better right here. See, it's got that 60 frame per second pop. Which, unfortunately, my capture software for capturing the screen actually is 30 frames per second. I hate to tell you. But usually you can still see that it looks better when it's at 60. Like, you can still figure that out. Like, it's still apparent. Alright, so we're in the 50s, and this is making me look like a big idiot. Like a big old idiot liar. You know what I wonder? So I was watching some guys play Grand Theft Auto 3 last night. I know, it's kind of weird. I didn't mean to, it just happened. You ever been watching videos on YouTube? And like you end up going down a rabbit hole, and like you're watching a video that you didn't even ever intend to watch in your life, but here you are watching it. Yeah, so I was doing that last night, watching some guys play Grand Theft Auto 3, and they were in the middle of nowhere and got like a police rating. It was like 4 stars or something, and the police showed up instantly. Like they were in the middle of nowhere. There is no way that police could respond that fast. So, say all that to say, I am going to conduct an experiment in this game to see if it's more realistic. Since we're already out here, we may as well do something since we're already out here. See, it's down to 40. It's not 60. See? Now it's in the 30s. Of course, it was in the 30s in the city, too. That's the thing. I told you guys that it would be higher in the city and lower here. Well, that's how it is with the GTX 970. And it's proving me wrong right now, but I'm telling you, I've played this game for more than 20 hours, according to my Steam account. So, like, I want to say I know what I'm talking about, but I'm being proven wrong right now. Alright, so anyway, It kind of looks like it's going out to Barstow. I don't know where it's really supposed to be going, but there's this town called Barstow between LA and Las Vegas. And it seems to be like right at that perfect spot in the trip where like you need to stop and use the bathroom. And because like whenever you stop to use the bathroom there, and you got to understand that there's like no other towns nearby it, kind of. So when you, like in real life now, I'm not talking about the video game, but when you stop to use the restroom, like all the gas stations have lines because everyone else has decided that that's also where they would like to stop and use the restroom. Yeah, this looks really good. We're in the 50s. I have VSync off. It's a pretty good frame rate. Ambient occlusion is on. It's on low, but it's on. Tessellation is on. It's on low, but it's on. FXAA is on. Textures are on very high, which is the highest setting you can pick in this game. So this all looks pretty good. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going... Ooh, let's get off the highway. Let's get off the highway. Like I said, I would prefer playing the game on PC with the GTX 745. I would prefer that to playing on the PS4. I have this game on PS4. You know what the problem is on PS4? The PS4 has more detail, but first of all, it's only 30 frames per second, and the real killer for it is the real killer for the... Oh man, she's probably like homeless. So the PS4 is at 30 frames per second, and you can't turn off motion blur. I don't know why I couldn't remember that, but you can't turn off motion blur. Hey, quit moving. I'm not very good at I'm not very good at Grand Theft Auto, in case that's not obvious. Alright, so I got no police stars right now. At least I don't think I do. I just want to see if when you're in the middle of nowhere, the police come out. So I apologize for my unnecessary violence. Alright, I saw somebody driving on this road. I need people for this experiment. I need a volunteer. Oh, yeah, the brakes are like really terrible on this car. Yeah, the AI is like pretty savvy. Alright, even if I don't hit anybody, I'm still shooting in the middle of... There we go. I'm still shooting in the middle of nowhere. Now I see flashing on my map. Alright, I have a wanted level. Although this isn't necessarily in the middle of nowhere. Not like what I saw in that game yesterday. But, yeah, these people are like... I mean, these police are not responding that quickly. Alright, that is a little more realistic. Okay. So, that was science. And you now know the GTX 745 works really well with GTA 5. And I cannot believe the police have not come yet. See? The response time is way more realistic in this game. Look, the screen is flashing. Like they're... Oh, look, there's a cop up here. But they're about to give up because the stars are flashing. So check this out. Have they given up yet? Oh, do they see me? Oh, now they see me. You guys want to see me run? Oh, look at the cactus. That cactus looks good. Look at that. I'm serious. Oh, come on. I'm trying to look at the cactus. There you go. Look at that. That is a good looking cactus. Man, they're serious. Now, this looks really good, guys. GTX 745. I mean, it's not perfect, but it looks really good. I don't know, man. Far Cry 4 just did not work well on this card. And here's what you guys have to understand. I almost beat Far Cry 4 on the Xbox One. Then I got a PC, and I've now played Far Cry 4 for 90 hours. Okay? And remember, the game came out last year, but still. Of course, I didn't, if we're honest, I didn't get the game until January this year. But Far Cry 4 is like the only game I played when I got a PC, period. So I needed a graphics card that could play that game. I mean, it really is that simple. I did not know the 745 was good with other games. I just didn't. I didn't give it that big of a chance. And I apologize. I have had a lot of comments that basically tell me that I'm an idiot and that the GTX 745 is a good graphics card and I don't know what I'm talking about. So now I've started overcompensating. I'm serious. I've started overcompensating and trying it in other games to see how it does. And you know what? You guys are right. I won't say this is where I should shut up. I should just shut up where I say you guys are right. That would be smart. But I will say it's not like it's running this game at 60 frames per second. Okay? Now I can lower the resolution and it will. At 1600 by 900 it gets 60 frames per second. And I know it's getting in the 50s right now. It's making me look like a big fat liar. But you saw earlier that usually like 30s or 40s is what you should expect out of it. And I don't consider myself a snob, but if I'm going to spend money on a PC, because you can get a PlayStation 4 on sale with a game for like $350 to $400, okay? With a game for $400. So it's kind of one of those issues where if you're going to spend the money on the PC, then by dang it, you may as well try to get 60 frames per second. It's not because I'm a snob. I mean, it's one of those. It's how I justify buying a PC. My graphics card costs more than an Xbox One. Okay, when the Xbox One is $350, my GTX 970 costs more than an Xbox One. So when I already have an Xbox One, and then I go and buy a graphics card that costs more than an Xbox One, I kind of got to justify that. Okay, and I guess if I would have kept the 745, you could say I wouldn't. But here's the thing: the GTX 745 still came in a PC that cost way more than $350, way more than an Xbox One. I've been doing the math. Even if you buy cheap components, brand new being a key word, I guess. But even if you buy cheap components, this does look good. I'm still talking and I'm still driving because this looks good. This doesn't have as much detail as the PlayStation 4 because the PlayStation 4 obviously has more of the settings turned up. But given this has a higher frame rate than the PlayStation 4, oh man, this looks really good. I'd rather play it on here with lower graphic details. I would rather play it on here than on the PlayStation 4. Check out the sun going down behind that mountain. That looks really nice. All right, so anyway, if you buy computer components, yeah, look at me talk. If you buy computer components and build your own PC, even with something like a GTX 745, you're still probably going to spend $400. And, it's not just graphics that make PC gaming good. I know that buying games on Steam and good old games and stuff like that is one of the benefits. And you get like the low prices and everything. I'm not dumb, I know. But I still like 60 frames per second. I just do. So here's the deal. I'm sorry that I was so dismissive of the 745. And I probably should not have written its obituary until I really thoroughly tried it in more games. I took my GTX 970 out last week. I felt, and just so you guys know, like, I appreciate you watching my videos and I appreciate your feedback. And even when you tell me I'm an idiot, you know what? I mean, it's the internet, whatever. But you guys told me that I was wrong and the GTX 745 was a better card than I was giving it credit for. And I'm seeing right now that, yeah, I wrote it off. And it actually runs Grand Theft Auto 5 and it does a good job. So I want you guys to know I take your feedback seriously. I appreciate that you take the time to watch my videos and you take the time to comment. I appreciate that. So I try to show that by taking my graphics card out that I paid money for and that I like. I took that out and I've been playing with the 745 for a week now. and I've been making some videos and kind of documenting my experience. But yeah, did it handle Far Cry 4 to my satisfaction? No, it did not. But it can definitely handle other games, and that has been an eye-opening experience. So this has been AI Gaming 1776. The GTX 745 can actually play some games pretty darn well. I'm impressed with it. Can it? Is Grand Theft Auto 5 playable on a 745? The answer to that is yes. So this has been AI Gaming 1776, and thank you for watching. I was trying to crash. Okay, thanks for watching.